Listen carefully. You see those Igbo people? You cannot stop them. As far as business is concerned, you cannot stop them. It's a case of who God has blessed, no man can curse. Leave them. Just leave them. Business sense. You thought Ibeto is gone. Obasanjo stopped the cement abbey. And later they used the policy of we don't want to rebag. You have to manufacture. They ended it. You need to hear the latest now. Igbo man, despite the suppression in Nigeria, the attempt to, cramp us down to a space. Who God has blessed, that's what I want to tell you. It is not our doing. It is inborn. It is what God has done in us in terms of business. Just watch this video and we'll be right back.
Container terminal WACT on air has commenced its barging operations partnership with Ibeto Terminal and Port at the Port Harcourt Port in Rivers State. Now, the country's CEO of APM Terminals, owners of WACT, says the intention behind the partnership is to improve satisfaction for their customers.
Major operations are ongoing at the West African Container Terminal WACT on Air Port, as the company is set to commence a partnership deal with Ibeto Terminal and Port at the Port Harcourt Port. WACT is a subsidiary of APM Terminals, and their partnership with Ibeto Terminals and Ports will see them moving containers from Onne to Port Harcourt by barge, as opposed to the trucking method currently in operation. Members of the APM Terminals management team explain why the Ibeto group was chosen.
The reason why we picked Ibeto is by the time we got here, we saw what is on ground. We saw the owner of the facility. In fact, we saw APMC spirit in him because he has the passion. He has the drive.
At APM Terminals, our purpose is to improve the life for all, right? And to find a way to bring the cargo closer to the customer, to bring his import and export and empty containers closer to the customer, and to avoid him the hassle of trekking those containers by the road to Onne is a real pleasure.
On his part, the country's CEO of APM Terminals says this is a culmination of months of negotiation between both organizations.
For a couple of years, where we've been working with our shipping line partners as well as Ibeto to develop a product that enhances the offering that we have here from the terminal, so that the customers can choose between taking delivery of their containers through the traditional way, through trucking, or using the barge, thereby bypassing some sometimes difficult road conditions.
The management of Ibeto Group is also upbeat about the deal.
This has been a long-awaited project that has finally finalized. So the whole if, when, how, it's all over, because we are in the business now. Like you see, there is already something working. It's not when, how would it go. So it is a groundbreaking partnership, and we're happy to be there.
With the signing of the MOU between both organizations, it is expected that there will now be seamless barging of containers from Onne Port to the Ibeto Seaport for swift delivery to their final destination.
Hello, great people, are you there? Many will think the closure of Ibeto Cement will be the end of Ibeto. The resilience of Igbo man in terms of business. I want to give all credits to God for what he has deposited in Igbo people in terms of business. You cannot contest it. Business. You know, I used to hear some people say, very soon they will replace Igbo people with Chinese in Lagos. I laugh because you don't understand who the Igbo man is. It is God-given. Many would have thought it will be the end of Ibeto. We know what Ibeto faced during the time his cement company in Port Harcourt was closed. About 4,000 people lost their job. Ibeto made cement cheaper in Nigeria. But the guys who control it now went to court, did several things. They were giving judgment in their favor. They enjoy what a sort of monopoly. They took over. They decided cement price by themselves. Ibeto was beating everybody. Yes, quite all right. Ibeto was rebagging. He was rebagging. Now, while rebagging, he was selling cement cheaper, but they stopped him. What happened? Yaradua came back. Oh, Yaradua of blessed memory. Yaradua came back, restored him back. And you know the way they used to pull him out totally was to say he was rebagging. That you cannot rebag, that you have to manufacture from the scratch. And that is how they pulled him off business. But I was like, oh, will Ibeto make it again? Yes, quite all right. The fact is that Ibeto Cement will bounce back while he's done with that. But for now, you need to hear the latest. As you've seen in that video, Ibeto has a facility, a seaport. Yeah, these things like this are unheard in Nigeria. Seaports are built by government. Now, you heard Ibeto in that video. He's telling you that his seaport will be the best. And I know who he is. Ibeto goes for class. Ibeto is tested and trusted in terms of latest facilities and service. Go to Ibeto Hotel and see the service. It's one of the best in Abuja. In terms of service, equipment, oh my God. Ibeto is always updates. And that is how most Igbo businessmen are. You cannot pull them down. If Nigeria is a wise country, Nigeria will bring these people closer. The way Nigeria is mistreating Igbo is why Nigeria is in this shape. This is why Nigeria cannot move forward. Because in every country, there is an element of that country that is the salt. If you understand that, you make proper use of that element, the salt of your country, and your country will boom. Nigeria is supposed to be a capitalist country, but they have been giving monopoly to certain people. They are being pampered like babies. No contention, please. But what I'm trying to say is that we are supposed to have equal playing ground. But it has never been so. Go to America, you see pure capitalist economy. And that is why America is doing better than most countries in the world. Once you do the right thing in America, do the proper registration, you are allowed to. You pass through the right process. But in Nigeria, they can close your business for another person's business. Ibeto is back with a seaport, Ibeto Seaport. They went to him, they met with him. Negotiations have been for long. And I know as terms and conditions, finally they signed an MOU with that container company. Negotiations have been for long on how they will work. They are going to be using Ibeto Seaport. Ibeto has a seaport. They are going to be using barges to move containers to Ibeto Seaport. And this will help, movement of goods and services, the bad roads and everything. You will not have to suffer those things. There has been a gap. Ibeto has bridged that gap. Look at what he said in that video. If it were possible, he will even bring the ocean and to Ndigbo and build the seaport there. Just that you cannot bring the ocean. So the people say they went there prior to the signing of memorandum of understanding. They went there, they saw that he has, he got what it takes, and they decided to work with him. The West African container terminal. So they're going to be moving batches there. It's making it easier for importers. Imagine we have a sea and such an arrangement is made. So finally, Ibeto Seaport is there. Ibeto is not just bragging. No. And those people who went to him, they know what they saw. You will see how this facility will be run. You will see. He's not just bragging. He knows business. Ibeto would have been one of the richest men in Nigeria. But this politics in Nigeria that refuse to help the country to grow. People are going out to seek for foreign investors. While there are people with the technical know-how. You're talking, now let me give Nigeria a hint. NEPA, how to fix electricity. Bat Nudge, they have done it in Aba now. Allow Igbo men, but you not allow them. You want to marginalize them. Allow them. Obasanjo used some of them during his tenure, and you saw the difference. Igbos are not leading in everything, but I'm talking about economy, managerial skill, economy, in terms of handling money, business. They are gifted, but this country does not know. You are playing with your swords. We are not the best in everything, but in terms of business and anything money, this one who God has blessed, God has given it to us. Let Nigeria allow equal playing ground. It will not just benefit the Igbo, but everybody. But they want to. Though in this present Tinubu government, it's like, I'm not seeing that. I don't know whether that monopoly is happening. There are some people that have been enjoying waivers. Dollar at low rate. It's like, I don't know. I'm seeing some shaking. Igbo man. There are many things I would have told you. But let me stop here. And like he said, I pray that this project will outlive everyone that is alive now. That's to say, this project will span more than 100 years. I pray this project has come to stay. That thing in Achon Nekwe na Nokana. I am so happy, and this is where I will leave this for now. Please share and share widely. Bye-bye.